And yeah, it was the horror story was, of course, the little girl who we took over their house on the first mission, and the family was amazing. They asked us if we needed anything. They would bring us chai to help us stay awake, chai tea, and I mean,
Yep.
they were so amazing. And I'm like, oh man, these people are just incredible. Um, and sure enough, and kind of, I don't want to give the story away too much in the book, but essentially, I was on guard duty that night, and here comes the little girl. She couldn't have been 7 years old, carrying a raggedy blanket, a stuffed animal that looked like it'd been through
Yeah.
a dog chew toy. And she came walking out, and the family provided us this big king chair to sit in. On security, had the claymore set up,
Sure.
the saw down there for whatever, and she scared the shit out of me initially. She came up from behind me. I jumped up with the 9mm. I was like, oh, okay. And I guess I was out of the way. She climbed up in the chair, cuddled up, right to sleep. And I'm like, okay. And right then and there, we had suffered a lot of loss. Helicopters been shot down.
Yeah.
A lot was going on around the city. It was blacklisted. And I was like, you know what? You almost feel human again, where you're like, this is why we're here. This is who we need to protect. 3-day mission. We're able to engage a few people. They were digging IEDs before they found the foot patrols. Came back a few weeks later, and it was just the guy. He was limping, like I feel now, but just dragging his leg along. And we're like, where's the rest of your family? Where's your wives? And we found out that the Taliban had found out that he gave up his house, which, I mean, we were a team strength. He didn't have a choice. Came in, killed the wives, took the little girl out in the street, and executed her in front of basically the village, as an example of, like, you let them come into your house, this is what's going to happen. And we felt so responsible. We were just like, oh, we're not even going to stay here tonight. Hey, QRF, come get us. We're done.
Yeah.
No, you've been through enough. And the man of the house actually spoke really good English for living over there. He was really educated. He's like, it's not your fault. It's you guys are doing good things. He's like, you guys are more than welcome to stay. We're like, no, we can't. It's too creepy, I guess. So we ended up going back, and we also kind of sat around and just, everyone was like, what's wrong? And no one would talk. No one wanted to talk about it. And after finding that out, then it just became even worse. The callousness was just like, I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like nothing's going to bother me anymore. But then you find out more friends and, things like that happen. And the IED threat, the claymores, all that stuff. I'm just like, whew. But Ramadi was, Ramadi in 2005, prior to the elections, we had the glass factory incident, talked about in the book. That recruiting event, suicide bomber detonated himself, killing 60 plus people. They show up and like, here's some trash bags and shovels, go collect what you can. And weirdly enough, and you said it best too, Chris, there's tons of books and movies out there, from Lone Survivor to, American Sniper, all that, sensationalize, I guess, the war aspect and, the war stories, like, oh, cool, let's share war stories. But the book, I wanted to say, you know what? Yeah, this is the stuff that sucks, but this is what happens. And no one wants to talk about it for some reason. And it drives me nuts. Every time I talk to these vets that I work with, I'm like, this is not the first war the U.S. has been in. Likely not going to be the last one. Mm-hmm. But we're still making the same mistakes when people are coming home that they did in World War II in Vietnam. No one wants to talk about it. So I wanted to get this book and really like drive home. When your loved one comes home and they're isolating away, they're drinking until they pass